Good day everyone, and welcome to Franka's Fat Family. I am Franka and I want to thank you so much for joining us again. And we are continuing with this week on money matters and financial intelligence and literacy. Yesterday we spoke about paying your bills, why it's so important to pay your fixed bills, because what happens is that is an obligation and you want to instill in your children that they should not steal. Stealing is actually really a problem. And you don't steal by just going up and picking something up in the store, that you didn't pay for. But you're actually stealing if you live in an apartment and your landlord has to run after you for rent. Your light bill is being cut off every month. And I'm talking to the people who have the funds. I'm speaking to the people who have the funds but just choose not to be responsible financially. They rather just enjoy their money. They rather go out to eat. They rather spend their money on all the other things except for the services that they are using, and they don't want to pay for it. That's just another form of stealing, right? But today I want to look at saving. Let's save. A lot of people don't understand the importance of saving, as silly as that might sound. A lot of people don't have bank accounts. Do you know that you can open up a bank account with many banks with as low as $5? $5. And a lot of people still don't utilize that service. Now, we're not going to get into the debate of how much interest rate you get back at the bank and that and all of that. The idea of saving, I know for me, in putting your money in a bank and your savings account, I don't even want an ATM card for my savings account. I want to be able to have to go to the bank if I have to touch my savings. And the reason why, for me to get up, get in a car, drive to the bank to take out money from the savings account, it's absolutely necessary. More than likely, people are not going to do that because, I just want to order some pizza and I don't feel like cooking, so I'm going to go take the money out of the account. You have to develop ways. I actually worked at Bank of America. I worked at Bank of America for nearly a year, and I remember advising people that only had one account. They had one account, and when I worked in the fraud department. So when they had to call in, because their card was compromised and stuff like that, when I saw that they had all of their money in one account, I would just suggest to them, did you ever really think about having a secondary account? And that secondary account is where you keep the bulk of your money, where you keep your savings, where you keep the money that you just don't want to touch. I remember a young guy, he might have had like $26,000 and he had one account. And I said to him, when you use that card online and all over the place, if it gets compromised, all of your funds get compromised. So it's very important to separate your funds. It does require management, but what happens is that when you have a savings account and you have a bill paying account, what it does is it allows you to separate your money. When you use up all of the funds in your bill paying account, the month normally turns back over that you don't have to touch the savings account. So why is it important to save money? You know the old saying, save something for a rainy day. I don't know if the young people hear that anymore, or I know that was said when I was growing up. It is so important that you put some money aside for the unexpected. And why? To be living on the planet, to be a human being, I guarantee something unexpected financially will happen. It will happen. If you have a vehicle, you will maybe get a tire blown out. You'll need servicing every couple months. You need to pay your insurance. You have so many unexpected bills that are going to come quarterly or just going to come from out of nowhere. If you're in an apartment, let's say, while the landlord is supposed to take care of all the fixed things or whatever, but let's say something happens that, your kid's book bag broke. I had one lady, her son fell and he knocked out his front tooth. And for a good couple of years, this teenage boy had to walk around with no tooth, a big gap in his tooth. And the reason why is because there was no funds set aside for any kind of emergency. A savings account is to help you build financially, as well as help you pay for unexpected financial demands that may come up. And the reason why, as a parent, it's so critical to start your children in understanding from young why they need to save some of their money. But on the flip side of that, Children need to understand how to earn money. So if you can afford to give your children some type of allowance as early as possible, I mean, it could be 50 cents, it could be a quarter, it could be $5. I know Jordan had friends, they were getting like $70 a week just in gas money, you know, and things like that. So whatever your pocket can afford, it's very critical that you give your children chores in the house, aka a job. A job. Your job is to take out the trash. Your job is to sweep the back porch. Your job is to do the dishes. And what you as the parent do, you then give them funds. I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm not paying you to live in the house and paying you to do the chores that needs to get done around the house." You're not paying. We have to change our perspective on how we look at things many times, because more financial literate people and financially successful people understand that you're not just giving your child money to wash the dishes. No, you are again transferring the knowledge of goods and services. You understand? You are doing something, so you're getting something back. That is how real life works. You understand? There are some parents that give their children without an end, and their children don't have to do anything. So those children turn into adults that really don't understand you have to work for what you have, or at least even to maintain what you've been given from your parents, you know? So if you can afford it, you give your children as small as possible, small as possible for chores around the house. It becomes their job. At the end of the week, if you promise your child $5 or $10, $20, give it to them. Give it to them, because you as the adult have to be trustworthy as well. Give it to them. But then you take it another step further. If I give you $10 a week, you have to willingly give me back at least $1 that I'm going to put in your bank account. I know at my kids' elementary school, they have like I forgot what it's called. It's through Suncoast Bank. It's like a penny saver account. They open it with as little as $5. The bank gets to their school, and every week they can put in from coins to change or whatever. It's to promote financial literacy and savings. It is very dangerous in adult life that you have no reserve. And a lot of people I find that have no reserve, they have no problem going and beg people for money. As an adult, I just think it's just so unfortunate that you as an adult don't see that you have a financial responsibility for yourself. I remember a friend of mine, she got with this guy, and by the time he moved in with her, within a month he quit his job. He wanted to follow his dreams. Mind you, he had 2 children that he had to pay child support for. She ended up paying some of the child support for it. He was not even contributing to the house and things. This person is just financially using you. They saw a sucker and it's like, okay, I'm gonna latch on. But I just remember thinking, you're a grown man. How disgraceful is that? That you won't even not provide for your living, but you won't even provide for your children's eating, because you have made no provision in your whole adult life financially for a rainy day. And it wasn't even a rainy day because he ended up quitting his job willingly, you know? And the thing is, people have to understand that your financial obligations as an adult is just that. It's your financial obligation, just like your health, just like your emotions, just like your friendship, just like all of the other things that you're supposed to enjoy in adult life. Your finances are your responsibility. If you do not know how to manage your finances, one place I always would tell people, you need to start writing down where your money is going. So let's say you make $2,500 a month. Your rent is, I don't know, $1,200 a month. That means you are left with $1,300 for the month. You have to pay for gas, you have to pay for water, you have to pay for electricity. Write those things down. Every single month, write down where all of your money is going, and then you see what's left. But I find that a lot of people spend money with their eyes closed. They use the little card. Now that we don't really use the paper money anymore, so you don't see it. They use the little card and they just swipe away, swipe away, swipe away. And before they know it, all of the resources are done and you've saved nothing. You've actually saved nothing. Children grow out of clothes. Children grow out of shoes. If you're a parent, you know the demands that your children place on you. Why should your children be financially suffering because you decide to make poor financial choices? You have to save. It is so important that you save for a rainy day. I have come across people, I've done pretty okay for myself, but I've come across people that have made way more money than me. Way more money than me. And I remember two examples. One guy, he got a settlement from his job, $110,000 in less than a year. Do you know what he did with that money? Him and his girlfriend went traveling the Caribbean and they spent every single penny. So by the time he's telling me this story, I was like, what? At least, even if you wanted to take $20,000 and enjoy it or whatever, and take the rest and invest that money, in less than a year, all of that money was gone. It was bought on clothes and it was traveling the Caribbean for the whole year. And now you have to work and work hard just to earn back some money. And I just remember, wow, what a screw up that was. Then I know another guy makes really good money, even makes side jobs and stuff like that. But he likes to shower people financially. He likes to buy elaborate gifts for the women in his life, his children. Like, he spends money as quickly as it comes, you know? And I remember saying to him, you have to understand, you have made way more money than me, way more, but I don't spend my money like that. I go on clearance lines to buy discount. I have clothes that's $5. You would never even know. You understand? So what I'm saying is that I'm very responsible with my money. I'm grateful to be able to earn it, but I'm very responsible with how I spend it. I buy things, I know how fabric look. This dress, I think it's at least 10 years. This dress is from the BVI, you know. I've lost weight, I put on weight, and it still fits or whatever. I'll get it taken in the back and stuff like that, just because I know quality of clothes. I know clothes that will shrink or clothes that will last, and I know style and stuff like that, so I stretch my money. But saving is like a must. You must save some money for a rainy day. You see that that earnings that I gave you a few minutes ago about if you were making $2,500 a month, and by the time you pay all of your bills, let's say you're just left with $150. That's included, you've bought food, you've done all of that. Here is where you can cut back to save just a little bit more money. You see, when you get that tax return, I don't know how people will get a tax return and go shopping or go on vacation. Like, really? You don't have a house. Your car is not paid for. Unless that's not what you want. Because that's another thing. Unless that's not what you want. But my thing is, if you just get $5,000 or $6,000, why would you take that money and just go shopping? To me, you just started a decent saving account with $5,000 or $6,000. Why? Because when the summer comes, that money would have accumulated interest. If you could have put another $25, $50 on it, by the time the summer comes or Christmas comes, you then have reserve money for a good summer vacation or for Christmas of that year. But if you blow all the money and bring yourself back down to zero, there is a level of financial stress that people are placed on when they have no reserve funds. And I am the type of person, you cannot call me and ask me to borrow $100. I will give you $100 before I loan you $100, and this is why. $100 cannot make or break you as an adult. But if you go into every single person, every single month and asking $50, $100, $20, you are placing yourself in a financial hole. Because what is going to happen? Those same people that you go to regularly to borrow money, after a while, they're going to be like, nah, he or she don't pay money back, so I'm not giving. So you would have closed many financial doors. My family know, for me to have ever asked for any kind of money, it was for like an investment purpose, some kind of real emergency, and I'm also telling them when they will get their money back. That's another thing. Have you ever loaned somebody money and when you see them, they're like, okay, I don't see you anymore. And what kind of behavior is that as adults? You know you just borrowed $500 from me last week. I should not have to run after you for my money. And I definitely see you when you're walking down the corridor. I see you. But so many adults are falling into this trap. And the reason why is because they have no respect for finances. They want to enjoy it, but you don't understand that finance Financial intelligence, financial management is also a circle. I'm gonna work, I'm gonna put in an honest day's pay, I'm gonna get my money, I'm gonna pay my bills, I'm gonna put away a little bit. When you get a bonus at work, when you do an extra side hustle, when you do, sometimes when you get your tax return, take your tax returns and pay off your car. Pay off your car. Do you know that if you pay your annual fixed bills, like your insurance, your life insurance, your car insurance, your house insurance, do you know that if you pay that off in full, you normally get a $300 or $400 discount annually compared to if you pay it monthly? So that same tax return, pay your house property tax. Pay something big that you free yourself from the rest of the year of that bill. But to just take that money and say, we're gonna go like enjoy ourselves and hang out. Now, I do believe that we should be awarded the pleasures of life. You know, who wants to work all the time and you really can't enjoy any of your money? I want you people to understand it is better to save for some time to multiply your resources to enjoy later when you're older. I remember when I worked at that college, I used to tell the young people, youth in itself is such a blessing. When you have youth, when you're 20, teenage, you have youth, you wake up with the youth of life. Your bones are not aching, your hair's not falling out, your body's not overweight many times, like you still have the youth of life. Use that time in your youthful days to hustle financially. And the reason why, you can go to bed hungry when you're young. No one wants to, but you could go to bed hungry and still wake up. You're good. You can walk 3 miles to some place. No one wants to, but you can if you wanted to. When you add age and bad financial decisions, that you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and you still have to get up and go to work, or you have to go to bed hungry. That is a whole different ball game, because you have now added on so much challenges of life onto your financial struggles. And that's one of the things that really propelled me. When I saw a lot of older people when I was younger struggling financially, I remember I worked with this lady when I was at the university. She traveled the whole world. Like, this lady went everywhere. And she must have been in her late 50s, 60s, extremely overweight, and all of the teeth in her mouth were falling out. And I remember saying to her, why didn't you go to the dentist? And she said, because I wanted to travel. But watching her in so much discomfort in her older life, I could not stop but think, was the memories and the pictures that you enjoy worth living out the next 20, 30 years of your life in misery? We have to create a balance. When you're young, use the energy and encourage your children to use their energy to hustle financially. Get a second and a third job, because the energy in which you have as a young person, you're not going to have after at least 40. And you're not going to have maybe at 30, the way things are going around here. You see? So it's so important that you teach your children to save. Make money and save. This whole thing of every week we go into the movies. Every other day I'm going out to drinks with my friends. And you have no savings. That is a pitfall for financial disaster later on in life. Because at least if you have a house, more than likely your house will increase in value compared to paying the same amount in rent. Meaning you're paying $1,200 in rent compared to paying $1,200 in mortgage. You can sell the property if you absolutely need it to. You see what I mean? So if you have a vehicle that's paid off, do you know that you end up paying nearly anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 extra on your car or your house if you're paying those monthly payments? You know, and that's one of the things with my family is as well. You try not to have as many loans and bills all over the place, because you end up paying so much more. Paying your bills and saving some money after you pay your bills will set you on the right track for financial independence and financial literacy, because you will understand the flow of money and you will watch it multiply. You will start to become so creative as, ooh, I could save an extra 50 here. I could save an extra 100 there. And if you parents that have really placed yourself in a very bad financial situation and you are struggling to get out of it, at least verbally tell your children about these pitfalls. Warn them. Do not do this. Do not go and get credit cards and charge them and you know you can't pay for them. You have to pay for that money back. And when you mess up your credit, you can't get a house, you can't get a car, like your finances are really, really destroyed. It is so critical that we understand the flow of money. I go to work. For what I'm working, I get X amount of dollars. With those X amount of dollars, I pay my mandatory bills first. If you do not pay your bills, you will forever be financially handicapped or in a delinquent. So therefore, after you pay your bills, whatever money is left, then you take some out and you save. You put that aside. That's money that you don't touch. When you get a bonus, if you want to take half of the bonus, but you cannot continue at the end of every single month being at a zero. You cannot. You will never see your way financially. And you cannot get comfortable with, oh, I'm just going to go borrow money from this person or borrow money from that person. And you know, ladies, what I feel about asking men for money when you just meet them. It's like, can I get $100 to get my hair done? That is a definite no-no because you are setting yourself up for financial failure. And if your children are watching your light turn off every month, hang up the phone. Those are bill collectors and you are in that financial ruin. You're training the children on how not to be financially responsible. Saving is critical. Learn how to save something every single month, whether it's $1. Do you know if you put away $1 every single month or whatever, you'll have $12 for the month. But let's say if you for the year, let's say if you put away $1 every day. So at the end of every month, you put away $30, $31, or $28, depending on the month. At the end of the month, you will have $365. At the end of 2 years, not the end of the month, at the end of the year, you will have $365. At the end of 2 years, you will have over $700 just sitting there. That is not accounted for anything. I try to tell my kids, it's nice to see your money grow. I started out with $0, and now I have $200. Children with their birthday money. Parents, when your children get birthday money and Christmas money, that's not money for you to spend. I do understand if you have financial obligations, but we as adults and parents need to manage our money better. Many of us are not. Many of us are taking our financial resources and just playing with it and then expecting, somebody to come and save us, calling up a family member, going and find a new boyfriend or girlfriend to take care of us. This should not be. For those people who are about that life, that's on you. I'm talking about the people who actually want to be better financially and want to train their children better. You must save every single paycheck. You must put something aside, whether it's $10, $5, $50, and then you decide, oh, I could save a little bit more. Let me put a little bit more. You know the 5-gallon drums? If you fill up that 5-gallon drums with coins, your spare change, you will have, by the time it's filled, over $3,000 or $4,000, especially if you dip like quarters, you stick to like you stay away from the coppers. I know we don't deal with money, actual currency like we used to because we all use the card. But I'm telling you, just having a piggy bank, a change drawer, people, we must understand that in adult life, you are responsible for your life. The generations that's before us or the parents that did not do what they were supposed to do and have a lot of us or a lot of people struggling, particularly financially, and you don't know whether you're coming or going. I am telling you, the best place to start, one, is live within your means. If you make $2,500 at work, you cannot live in a luxury apartment where the rent is $2,200 on your own. Like, that's just foolish, And then you're borrowing the rest of the money and you're begging people or you're doing whatever you need to do. First, live within your means. Second of all, you must pay your bills, your fixed bills. That money that you're earning is to enjoy the services in which you are enjoying, like light, water, gas, those type of fixed monthly bills. Rent, pay your bills. After you have paid all of your bills, including grocery shopping, food, or however you want to go out, whatever money is left, you must take a portion of that, or all of it, and save it. If you want to take a portion of that, let's say you have $300 left and you want to take $150 to enjoy as your money for the month. I remember a friend of mine, she used to give herself $300 as enjoyment, entertainment allowance. She actually put that in her budget, but she was an attorney, so she could afford that, you know? Then out of the 300 that you have, the 150 that you have left, you take 150, you put that aside for saving, and then you enjoy the other 150. We must start making more responsible choices in all areas of our lives, and that includes our finances. You want to be able to take your children out to dinner and say, order what you like. You want to be able that when your children grow out of shoes, let's go to the store and get you a pair of shoes without having to feel that I have to call this person or call that person or beg people for money. As an adult, you must be responsible for your adult life. And parents, let's start introducing and training our children in the needs and requirements in successful adult life. And money matters. Money, financial intelligence is definitely one of the key areas. We can no longer be making $100,000 and you're living in a room with your parents and you don't even still have a pot to piss in. Your car is not paid off. You're just struggling. That means that you're managing your money very, very poorly. So start with paying your bills, start with saving, and then you can start to enjoy your money, right? I want to thank you so much for staying with me, and again, be responsible financially. Tomorrow we're going to look at child support. If you're a parent and you're no longer with the mate, it is critical that you understand where child support goes. It's too much confusion. I don't know how people think that, oh, I'm helping the other person live. No, you're helping to feed your kids. Okay? I am Franka Potter. I want to thank you so much for staying with me and for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.